Hello everyone, this is RexRed. I am back with another tutorial on Daz Studio. Tonight it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but what is a better time? I'll probably have an audience in East Asia, which would be very fine. It would be awesome. So this is going to be a tutorial, if you read the title here, on Fluidos. And so we're going to open up Daz Studio, if I can get a mouse. Okay, there we go. Daz Studio, here we come. And we are using the regular build, not the beta one tonight. And I'm going to turn this off. And periodically I may play some of my music that I make on my other channel. My other channel is EZTV. That's C as in cat, B as in bird, B as in bird, TV, EZTV, and you will find all of my music tutorials. Now, here is the third example. It says so Fluidos is a program that you can buy at the Daz store, which is here. And we will look in. You want to make sure you buy the Fluidos, the most expensive one, unless it's on sale, but because there's the old Fluidos and there's the upgrade and there's the advanced Fluidos or whatever, but it's the one that's this is the light edition, and then this one says it's $119, and this is the full version of Fluidos. But I'll tell you a secret. You just wait till it's on sale, and if you wait till it's on a really good sale, I think I paid about $20 for Fluidos, okay? But it was thrown in with a bunch of other deals. And so tonight we're going to work with fire. Here is our third example. Create a new scene, it says. Insert a Fluidos domain. So you basically just install Fluidos, and then when you go into this create menu, you might have to put a password in a code to make it work. I'm not sure exactly, but we have a Fluidos domain, new Fluidos domain, and we're just going to insert that into the scene, and there it is, a Fluidos domain. This is where all the magic happens, is inside this domain. Okay, and it doesn't tell us what to do about this domain right now, but I'm just centering it. Here we go. Insert a Fluidos. Okay, insert the domain. Create new Fluidos domain. Accept. Okay, insert a Fluidos source sync. So we go to create in Fluidos. Insert Fluidos source sync. Okay, accept. And there is now the source sync. The source is where your fire or water or you have a source and a sink. The source is where the fire comes from or the water comes from, and the sink is where it goes and drains into. I am dry tonight. I took a nap and my heat came on while I was sleeping, and I just really don't like that when the heat comes on and I wake up and I am just so dry, because it just totally baked me while I was sleeping. So we have a source in the sink. Okay, now what does it want us to do with this sink? Insert parent the source to the Fluidos domain. So we do that by going here and grabbing that and putting it inside. And that didn't work. Let's try again. Okay, that did. Now this is a sibling of this by just dragging and dropping it over top of that. You can right-click on it and change the parent to the Fluidos domain. That's another way of doing it. Now the next thing is set its velocity. Okay. This will be the source. Parent the source. So this will be the source. Set its velocity x property to 0. Okay, the source. Parameters. Velocity x to 0. Now let's go back here and take a look at these. Set its velocity x property to 0. So velocity x to 0. Set the temperature to 750 Celsius. Temperature 750. And the fuel concentration to 60%. 60. This couldn't be any easier to do, but these are magic numbers. Trying to figure out them just to make this work, that's a whole other thing. So this is why you follow these examples. They're like training wheels to give you a basic idea of how to get these things to work. So it says the fuel concentration, set the size X to 20. Okay, size X is up here to 20. And I think the other two are 50, but let's look and double check. And size Z, Y and Z to 5.0. Size Y to 5.0 and Z to 5.0. If you get these wrong, okay, 5.0, it may not work. Okay, so you have to be precise about them. Size to 20, 5, and 5. Okay, move the source by setting X translate. So this is our source. We have it selected. So we're going to go up here to translate, X translate. And we're going to set the source X translate to 50. 50. Okay, put that in roughly in the center. It looks like the center, but if we look from the top, it's probably not. Okay, Y translate to 20. 20. And Z translate to 50. 50. And so put it right in the center of the box probably. No, but let's look where it is. It's well, it's right, it's almost in the center. It's near the bottom. Okay, but it's in the center. So this is where this is the source. It's going to shoot out of the source / sink. So the source, maybe there's not going to be a sink in this. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not like a river, like water sprouting out and then going down the river and into a hole or something. It's just so it may not have a sink. Okay, now that's our translate, X translate, Y translate, Z translate. Select the Fluidos domain. Okay, we did that. In the Fluidos domain properties, change the number of frames to 30. In the Fluidos domain, okay. Number of frames to 30. Enter. Okay. Now I think you'd find these properties all the way here too, but you just have to scroll way down to find them. And if you select, yeah, they're there if you click on this top, but this one just gives you only the things that pertain to Fluidos. This gives you other things. So it's just a quicker way to get to find what you're looking for. Let's see. So here now we have Fluidos domain. Okay. Change the number of frames to 30 to obtain 1 second in the simulation. Let the cell size in 2.50 centimeters. I think that word let is supposed to be set. Okay, set the cell size. Where's our cell size now? The cell size. Cell size, okay, is right here. And that's already set to 2.50. In the Fluidos type, choose volumetric fire. So it's liquid, so we're going to click volumetric fire. Very cool. We are going to make some fire and smoke, people. Okay. In the cell, change it to volumetric fire. In the Fluidos advanced settings subgroup, set the jitter factor to 1.0. Advanced. Jitter factor to 1.0. I think that already is, but let's double check. No, it's 0.1, and we want the jitter factor to 1.0. 1.0. Okay. Then we go here into, what's next? Jitter factor. In the Fluidos smoke and fire subgroup. Here. Set the explosivity to 4.0%. To 4.0%. Explosivity and the beta buoyancy factor to 0.25. Beta buoyancy to 0.25. 0.25. Okay. And nobody's here. In the same Fluidos domain properties, click on Baked Files folder and select Browse to locate a folder where the plugins will be saved. We'll save the simulation files. So we're going to go here to, where is it now? In the same Fluidos domain properties. Baked file folders, browse. And where did I put these? Did I put these in my Daz? Fluidos. Okay, project 3, new folder. Fluidos project 3. Select this folder. And that's done. Okay. In the same Fluidos basic browse, locate the folder where the plugins will save the simulation files. Call the simulator. Run Fluidos simulation. And that is in edit. I believe I thought run Fluidos fluid simulation. Accept. And here we go. We are in Iray, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. We should get some fire. Fire. Okay. I assume there will be when all of my well, not all, like I have a million, but when my awesome subscribers wake up tomorrow, they will have a video to watch. It won't be live, but okay. Now it said run the simulation and click accept in the dialog. I did that. Wait for the simulation to finish. Now insert a Fluidos mesher. Menu, create. Okay. So we'll select the domain. Insert. Create Fluidos mesher. Accept. And I assume, now it doesn't say parent that, but maybe it has to be. Create new. This must be in the same position as the Fluidos domain. I don't see this, where this mesher is. Okay, okay, the mesher. It would appear it's in the Fluidos domain. And so let's just hope that's enough. It seems like it's on the back edge of it. As long as it's within it. If it's not, we'll know. Okay. Now we have to set the mesher. We go to mesher here, and the bake files need to go to the same place, which would be my Daz Studio renders, Fluidos, project 3, save. Okay, so now that's going to save the mesher files in there. So now we go for the mesher, set a keyframe at 0 in the timeline. So we go to the timeline, set a keyframe, add a keyframe. Okay. Then put a second one in frame 30 by setting completion to 100. In 30 by setting completion to 100. Okay, I don't see a keyframe, so we'll add one there. And change the mesher type to fire mesh. Mesh type, fire mesh. Set on the enabled property. On. Okay. The final simulation can be seen by setting off the preview parameter of the mesher. Okay. That's apply fire mesh shader to the mesher. Okay, 19. Now this this part could go way over my head. Okay, so apply these. All of this I can put data in, but can I think? No. Maybe I can't think. You can change the mesh type in the mesher to fluid particles and apply fire particles shaders to the mesher. Okay, apply a fire mesh shader to the mesher. Let's go here. Now we have we'll hide this. We have the meshers selected. And I think I'd like to put this mesher down in our domain, just so it's part of it. And now we have the mesher selected. Then we go to surfaces. Surfaces, mesher, that's not helping. Editor, okay, we have that selected. Now we go in here to default, open this up, and we look for a shader. I'm getting ahead of myself, so fire. We should have a fire mesh here. Shader. Okay. Smoke fire mesh. Okay. That's smoke particles. Smoke. Okay, this is surfaces. Fire mesh. Let's try this. Okay. That looks like a fire mesh. We have some other fire mesh. Okay, that's 3 to light. This is Iray. Iray. Fire mesh 2. I think I like that one better. Okay, there's our fire mesh. Now, if we go to the timeline, we can drag this. Fire. Fire. Let's take our environment. Black. Make our background black. Okay. Fire. Okay. So let's see what some of these other if we can apply some of these other meshes to it. We have a bunch of other fire meshes. This one, fire shader. Well, that one's not so orange. I might need to change the editor. Let's see the vertical tiles. Let's see point. No, this doesn't really. I think the other fire was a little better for now. Okay, parameters. Now this is a 3D fire, and the problem with this fire, okay, is it's like a VDB shape with a skin put around it, okay? And really that's not what we want. What we want is a VDB that's colored, okay? And the only way to add color to this VD, well, we take the mesher off and there's nothing there. But if we were to put a light in the scene, let's try this. Let's just put a point light in the scene. And we were to move this point light. into our fire. See, I don't see the point light lighting this up. Okay, that's because it's not really there. Let's see. Point light. Bring it up here. Point light. And let's make the point light. See, this isn't working. Let's make it red. Okay, I don't see it lighting. Now, the Fluidos mesh. So, I assume that this is a mesh that is around the outside of the fire, around the VDB. So maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so let's go back to the other. Let's select our mesher, go to our surfaces. All right, and then go to our presets, go up here and select the VDB fire. Okay. And now our timeline. It's interesting if you think of what we just put in. We put fuel in, we put in temperature, we put in all of the things that create fire. Okay? And then we simulated the fuel and the emitter, and the emitter apparently has a way of lighting that fuel, or maybe, and remember we put in temperature. So if you take fuel and you make it, the fuel reaches a certain temperature, it will combust. If it doesn't reach that temperature, it won't combust. And then it will burn because it's being fed at a certain rate out of the emitter. If you think of this as a blowtorch kind of thing. So, it's quite sophisticated now, but when we look at this, I'm kind of disappointed. And because this shader that's around the outside of it, that's not what I want. What I want is to see a 3D animated VDB that's colorized. And I know I'm asking for a lot, but let's continue on here through this thing and see what you can change the mesh type in the mesher to fluid particles. Mesh type in the mesher to fluid particles. Let's go now into the mesh type. Okay, parameters. Let's say to mesher. Fluid particles. Oh. Okay. Timeline. So this is interesting. I like this now. Let's get right in. Oh, look at that. Now I like this. And we turn on our light and nothing happens. Oh, the light may not have enough juice. let's give it some, let's go 9000 lumens. Let's make it disappear here so we don't have this giant, let's in our display, visible in viewport, would that be it? Okay. The point light. Why isn't it reacting with that? Let's give it another 9. No, it's not reacting to the particles here. I can't even see it as a light. You'd think it would be radiating out. So maybe my scene here, my environment options, it could be draw dome is off. Dome and scene, let's go environment map, none. Let's change the environment tint to black. How did I make this all black in the first place? Oh, I think I set a background, backdrop. Okay, let's say none. Backdrop none. Okay. Scene. Point light. Okay, let's take out the point light. Let's put a spotlight in. And see if we can change the color of this. Just have it respond to some kind of external thing. There's that. And let's look through the spotlight. Bring it up. Okay, bring it back. Point it down. Okay. You can see I absolutely love doing this stuff. I absolutely love doing this. Now we're going to go back to the perspective mode. We're going to create a camera into our scene just to make sure, copy the active. Okay, so let's look through the camera. Save this is going to be, I might as well save this in Fluidos project 3. Accept. Okay, so now let's give the spotlight some lumens. 9. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, okay, now we have, what I've done is created more keyframes. This is terrible. Let's drag these keyframes. I can't do that. I wish I hadn't done all this now. Edit. Let's see if I can make these keyframes go away. Edit. Undo camera. Undo this. Undo orbit. Undo zoom. Undo pan. Undo translate. Okay. I think that did it. Now I can move this to 30 and then we can do all that stuff here at the 30 mark. Okay, so we go here. That was the insert camera. Look through the camera spotlight. We have to keep in mind that we're animating. And then we raise this up a little bit. Let's point it at the base. Up a little more. Point it down at the base. Okay, spotlight. Now back to our perspective mode. And we would have to have this right in front of us now, wouldn't we? And now let's hide the spot. Let's bring the spotlight behind our camera so we don't have it right in front of us. Spotlight. Zoom out a little bit more. Okay, now go back to our perspective mode. Let's create a camera. This is still terrible. Create new camera. perspective mode. Let's look through the camera. Okay, the spotlight isn't now right in our face again. Let's look through the spotlight and see if we're... Okay, let's look at all this from the top. Top view. Make sure everything's aligned, okay? There's our camera. It looks pretty aligned. So okay, now let's go through the spotlight. Let's do this. And then, okay, let's go into texture shaded mode. Okay, what's our 98 spotlight, X translate 51, Y is 98, let's go 100, might as well, translate Z is 275, that's fine, let's go 280, X translate is 51. Let's go 50. Okay. And then we're just going to point this down a little bit here to the base of our... And now our camera should be 50 as well. All right. 80. And we don't want it at the same place. We want it in front. Okay, let's look through the camera. Okay, this looks fine. Iray. Camera, we're going to move it where we want it. Okay. Now that we can get rid of the timeline for a moment. Now this spotlight, again, is just not doing anything. Let's, okay, I didn't give the spotlight any power. 9. Let's make it real bright. No, it's like it has no power at all. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Let's give it a 9. Tone mapper, what's up in here? This is our tone mapper. This all looks normal. Environment options. Draw dome is on. This is okay. Let's go with a white and see just if this does something weird. No. That responded to the change there, but no. Okay, dome, infinite sphere, dome, and let's go scene only. Dome and scene. Why isn't my spotlight working? Spotlight. Spread angle, emitter on. Lumens. Spotlight. This is very strange. I think my brain, I've been doing too much today. My brain is just set show base. That's strange. Display persistence. Point at. Z rotate. Is it like, am I pointing it at the wrong thing, or am I under? Let's see. Let's look from the right. You see, this all looks right. There is our camera. There's our spotlight. The same thing happened with, let's put this up above here. Now let's look through the spotlight and we'll point it down. Just so it's not like right behind the camera. The camera wouldn't block the light anyway. The camera is invisible. Draw ground off. Okay, let's put an environment map in here. Just browse. Just see what happens. Okay, this is strange. Oh, I have this black. Okay, well we have an environment map, and this didn't look like quite what I was expecting it to look like, but we still have no spotlight. Let's look through the camera. So let's go to our spotlight and give it some more nines. Nope, the spotlight doesn't work. Why? 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 Shadow type, deep shadow map. I don't know what those mean, the deep shadow map yet. We're still learning. There's a lot to learn here, and we all have things to learn. Okay, so I'm not the only person who needs to learn. Light. Okay, we go to Fluidos Mesher. Now this should just work, okay? So the right. Okay, for some reason now this is all blown out from the right. Okay. Now we take the spotlight. Why is it all blown out from the right? One. From the right. From the top. Okay, now that's not. From the left. Okay, it's not blown out from the left, but from the right it is. This is very strange. And of course the right, all you can do is zoom out. Okay, this is some kind of bug. Camera, we're going to go to the camera. We're going to save this. We're going to close this out. Give it a moment. Bring it back. I'm really trying to push Daz in some of its most... It's like when you buy a computer. I had a friend of mine say, I'm looking for a computer. I want to buy one. and they said, I don't need a powerful computer like yours. I just want to play games with it. And it's like, and I thought, you know, that in my head I said, well, you know, games are the most demanding thing you can do with a computer. So that's why these gamers are all like computer nerds. So it's like, oh, I don't need one like yours. I just want to play games with it. It's like, get a Game Boy or, you know, or something, a Nintendo. Project 3, no. Okay, this is still, okay, from the right, it's all white. Why? Why is it all white from the right? Let's look at from the bottom. It's all blue. Camera view. Okay, it might be this particular. No, because when I turn it from the right and look at it this way, it's not all white. It's not all white. I got news for you, Daz. It's not all white. So I've done something weird here with the environment. Let's delete the environment options. Okay, enter, delete, and it will put them back in, but new ones, I guess. Let's delete the tone mapper, and it will put them back in. Default, though, draw dome on. Spotlight. Now let's look at it from the right and see what happens. Okay, it's not white, but it's not showing me the scene. How about we go into Control 9. Okay, this looks a little bit more like it's supposed to. From the left view, okay, that looks a little more like it's supposed to. Let's look at the left view in Iray. Okay, that looks the same as the other. Why the left view isn't showing the environment, I don't know. Okay. We go to this environment. There's none. No backdrop. None. I'm going to look at this and say, oh, yeah, kind of thing. But it hasn't, the oh, yeah moment just hasn't happened yet. Camera view. Spotlight. And let's put some more juice in the spotlight now that we're here. Okay. All right, we're going to assume that this just doesn't respond to light. So, but if I put a plane in the scene, the plane is going to be, okay, that's not what we want. We want a primitive. Where is the primitive here? This was probably going to turn it really bright then. We're going to put a plane in here, and all of a sudden, boom, yeah, it's bright now. So that's working. It's just that this isn't responding to light. So I take these 9s down. So the light's working. Well, how come we can't get this light down? Let's 800. Well, maybe the light isn't working right. What is wrong here? Oh, because the environment is so bright that whatever the light is, it's just not showing up. So we go into our environment options and set this to none. Set this to black. Okay, now we can see what our spotlight effect is having. It's like the spotlight was only a drop in a giant 9. Okay, again, another 9. Now let's go to our camera view. Camera. Why can't you I think I'm using the camera. I've moved the camera way around. Okay. Okay, so this fire. Now if I turn the spotlight off, the fire does. No, oh, okay. I think I know what I can do with the fire. So we open this Fluidos mesher is a surface. Editor, surface. So we can go to this surface. Well, this is kind of strange. I didn't expect it to just all of a sudden. Base color. White. Let's turn off our spotlight. Okay, mesher. Color. Now we have the base fire, so let's put this into our... Oh, that's the base color. Which would be white. But we go now into our emission color. Let's put the same thing. This is temp CPNG into our luminance temp. Luminance. We go. Well, let's change the color. Just see if this works. Purple. No, that didn't work. Where are we in the timeline? Okay, we're at 30. Fluidos mesher. Okay, the temperatures. This is not responding the way I thought it would. Okay, what's this? Refraction color. Let's just try changing this and see what happens. Nothing. Let's go back to white again. What have we got here? Base color. So let's just change this surface back again. Let's go to presets, default, shaders. Fluidos, okay. Oh, here we go. Particle fire. Editor, mesh. Well, let's go to the smoke. It's maybe this mesher doesn't, okay, unparent the mesher. That's something I did, and it didn't tell me to do that. Okay, let's resimulate this. Create, run Fluidos simulation. That's kind of cool. Looks like fire, but these are particles instead of the flame. Okay. And my camera, it looked like when it went through that, my camera, it looks like I have animated my camera. Yeah, my camera's moving around. That sucks. It means I have to delete the camera. The camera crap. Okay, let's just delete the camera. I imagine the spotlight has the same problem. Oh, okay. Maybe I have to add this fire to the mesher when it's here and here. Let's see. Okay, how about if we render this? Maybe it just doesn't show up correctly in Iray. We're in perspective mode. Let's put the camera in here. And let's delete the spotlight for now, because that's probably... And the plane we didn't move, so I think the plane will stay the way it is, yeah, throughout. So let's create our camera at frame 1. New camera, copy, perspective. Now the camera shouldn't animate while we're moving. Okay. Create camera. You'd think I could put anything on. If these are particles, you'd think I could put any kind of shader on them. Let's go and look for some other parts, other things. Okay, let's put, let's select this mesh and put a, it says reset surface. Where's the Uber base? It could require that. Well, it says base color. Oh, it says black. Okay, Uber base. Now let's go into... What was that? Sounded like my phone. Oh, it's my Google Assistant. Hi, how can I help? I don't think I said your name. Hey, Google. There it is again. All right, now let's see what we have here for shaders. Shader. Okay. Now I don't see. They didn't change to green. Fluidos mesher. So it's not taking a shader. This isn't working right. Let's see. Let's go back here. You can change the mesh type in this mesher to fluid particles and apply fire particles shader to the mesher. Alternatively, you can add another mesher as in steps 13 to 15, but setting the mesh type property to fire particles in this mesh, and let the first one be fluid particles mesh type, and to get a granulated fire effect. I kind of now understand this, but it's not accepting, it's not changing the mesh type. final simulation can be seen by setting off the preview parameter in the mesher. Okay, maybe I didn't do that. Preview parameter. Okay, the preview parameter is on. Okay, now this would be so enable. So this is the final thing, and the preview parameter is just like a simple simplification. So I turn that on. You can probably actually play it, and it should maybe even show. Yeah, it does kind of go through. My computer's able to play this even with it off. This is very, okay, fluid particles, mesh type. Orient to camera. Not sure what that means. Silence progress dialog. That's the baked files. Completion. You would think that would have to say 30. 30. Okay, now let's run this fluid simulation again. So it would complete at 30 frames. It didn't tell me to do that. Not sure. Okay, we play this. Okay, I know something now. They said that the mesher has to be inside the box. Remember that? So let's take our mesher and mesher, and let's go into okay, it is inside. Oh, I have the domain selected. Oh, it appears to be inside the box, so mesher. Okay, surfaces, let's put this on. Shader, how about a different shader? Okay, go to Iray. Okay, well, I'm used to failing at things I do. So it's not gonna, I will lose sleep over this, but let's take the mesher out, create Fluidos mesher. Okay, and let's go back to this part here. That's where it says create. Now insert Fluidos mesher. This must be in the same position as the Fluidos domain. Okay, where I don't see this physical mesher. So let's see what happens when we go and select the mesher. Okay, there's apparently some little dot there. Z translate. Y. Okay, it looks like I have it outside Z. Now it's inside. There's a little teeny dot. Like I'm supposed to know that. It's like Y translate. X translate is fine. Let's make sure that's right inside. It's kind of hard to tell. And then Y translate. Okay, so it's inside. It is now inside the domain. Okay, measure is inside the domain. This must be in the same position as the Fluidos domain. Set the bake file folders for the measure. So measure, Fluidos measure, bake file folders, browse, and we go to our PNG, no, this one, Fluidos project 3, select, okay, there's that. Set a keyframe at 0 in the timeline. Okay. 0 in the timeline. So we go to set a keyframe to 0. Okay. And then it said, I might have gotten this wrong. Then put a second one in frame 30 by setting completion to 100%. Now I did set it to 100%. Okay, but it didn't put that did not put a keyframe in here. Okay, I had to add one. So that's what's odd. That it didn't, when I moved that to 100%, you'd think it would have put a keyframe in there, but it didn't. So 0. Oh, but it is moving to 100%. So that's completion 0. There's 100%. Apparently that works. Okay. Set it, the measure type to fire mesh. Enable prop to fire mesh. Okay, we'll start with fire mesh. And it said enable on, was that it? Yeah, the final simulation can be seen by setting off the preview measure. Okay, apply a fire mesh shader to this measure. Okay, so now this is odd that my mesh is outside of the domain. We have to move it inside the domain or it won't work. X translate. So whatever I did, Z translate. That didn't work, moving the mesher all around. Z, X. Okay, and Y. Y, X. Alright, so it says now apply a surface. And I don't want to use those surfaces. I want to use something different. Measure. I want to use a Christmas ball. And that looks nice. Now that applied, it before they wouldn't apply. Remember, people? So we play this. Oh. Okay, I see. So what I did was I have to move this Fluidos position. Fluidos, we have to move it over here. Y translate. Make sure it's over the center. Z. And Y again. X a little bit. Play this. Okay, the only thing that's messed up is my camera. Let's delete the camera. Okay, rewind. Wind. Okay, so we have some results now. Let's save this. Apparently, I think it had something to do with the completion, maybe. I don't know. So the Fluidos mesher wasn't. So now we can change this mesher into parameter, into particles, mesh type, fluid particles. Let's render this. Okay, let's see if we get little red particles. Render settings, general, 2000. Some time, maximum time. We might as well set this up for a final render. Okay, let's see what this does. Are those little particles red or are they yellow like that? It might be yellow when you select it. No, they are little red fire particles. Okay, so what I could do is render this animation, and I bet it would only take a moment to render it. Would you like to cancel this render? Yes. Let's render our little fire animation. Let's set this to 640 by 360, I guess. Let's set this size to turn the, okay, 480, 80. Okay, 640 by 480. And we zoom in on this. Bring this up like this. Zoom in a little more. So our fire is going to be large. This is going to be cool. Very cool, even if I must say so myself. Now the background, we need to change the environment type, backdrop. There we go. Save this. And now we're going to go, I could render this as a, okay, path. We're going to render this, save this in our, so we can find it easy. Here, Fluidos, that's the path. Render image movie. I usually do an image series, but this time we'll do a movie. Movie. Let's do it. Let's render it. I think we're ready to render. Oh, we have to set this. Maximum samples to, let's say 200, and let's say maximum time to 50 seconds, no, 30 seconds. Let's just see what this does. Render. Oh, okay, it wants me to save the clip. Right here is where we're going to save it. Daz Fluidos save. Oh, and this is going to be called Fluidos fire, render. Okay, wow, it's going fast. Let's see what we got. Uncompressed. It's the only one that I think I can usually depend on that's going to work. Okay, Studio render, Fluidos, here, fire. Well, that wasn't very... I don't think there's enough bits. I don't think I rendered enough bits. And why is it so... Oh, okay, let's create a camera. And, okay, we got to do this at the beginning here. Create new camera. Copy perspective view. Okay, and now I'll go back to the render settings. And we don't want never. We don't want a headlamp. Let's see. We might need some kind of lamp. So that means something to light these things. So we go to Scene, Fluidos Mesher. Let's make these into these particles, surface. Let's make them emit. Color, red. Emission color, lumens. Let's go 4. I don't know why they don't show here. Let's see NVIDIA. Why they're yellow like that. But they're not really yellow. They just don't show in Iray. So let's see now. In Iray they don't show. But now render. This would render the camera. Now we go back to our progressive render. Let's maximum sample 500. Okay. Let's try this now. Render. Yes. That took a little longer. Full frames uncompressed. Oh my gosh. Now what have we got? Play. Alright, so we've got something cool here. And it's self-illuminating. But what we can do now is we can go here and go into our surfaces, luminance. Let's make it a little brighter. Let's make it like a 9 here. It's not showing us this, but, and this 500, let's make it 1,000. 1000, not 10,000, 1,000. Maximum samples, render. Yes. Here we go. And there it is. Files uncompressed. Let's go here. let's make this large. So that's pretty cool. So I wonder just how, okay, so if we go into here and we say 2000, they're going pretty fast. So render, yes. Those frames are going pretty fast, even for 2000. Now, my brain is saying, well, how about if we make like a 4-second animation? But remember, we added in like fuel, okay? And wouldn't we have to, if we wanted to make a 3-second animation, wouldn't we have to add more fuel? You know, see, that's... This is what, you know, things are not always as simple as just changing it to like 3 minutes and re-rendering this, okay? So let's see now what this looks like. Let's stop this along the way. Look at that. This is so amazing. Look at this. Let's go here. And let's go in our first. We're in a perspective view. Let's go to the camera. Let's get in a little closer to this. Let's play this and see if it goes higher than our camera. No? Yeah, it does. So we have to back off a little bit. Oh, now we can't do that. Undo camera zoom. Rewind. You have to do it here. And move this down. Okay. That kind of works. Okay, now what we're going to do is go into this mesher again. And let's bring this luminance up another. See if it works. This would be another. We'll go 4. Render. Yes.
You're holding me tight. Know that it's right. Such a delight. Together we unite. There's nothing I want more. Babe, our love is sure. You are the key to unlock every door. I'll do anything you want. I'll do anything you need. There's nothing I wouldn't do for the love of you. Love of you. For the love of you. Oh.
Okay. Let's see what we have now. Did this make it brighter? not seeing it look any brighter like it. And why isn't this showing? Why isn't this showing in the color in Iray? And there's another problem, okay? We're getting some kind of... Alright, so... And so it did it just turn it red because I did this emission color? Let's go to white. And emission color. Okay, I don't think glossy color. Let's do this to white. Let's find out what's giving it its color, base color. See, I don't think it applied that Christmas color light bulb color to it. I think, all right, so
you captured my every will.
see, I don't see this color. Oh, now it said glossy color. So, because I changed that back to white. When I change it to white. Okay. So I don't know that this is an actual texture, so it just might be. And it doesn't say that it's actually.
I live each moment in your bliss.
Base color. It is an Iray color. Let's do something else here. Red glass. Something that's going to be obvious. Let's find a metal maybe, like gold. Let's try this. Let's see if that changed it to... That's Iray. Alright, I didn't see much difference, so we can go 1,000. Oh, this actually has a map. So we can take now and put this map into our emission color. Base color. We can go white. And our temperature, let's go to luminance to 4. Alright, let's see what happens now. Render, yes. Okay, 1,000 as we go through here. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. 3 a.m. Guess what that means? 3 a.m. means the Daz store has probably put out their daily specials. I would like to have a mesh converter from Genesis 8, a morph converter from Genesis 8 to Genesis 9 would be really nice. What's this? Gonna be white now, maybe? Yeah, it is white. It did change it, so...
Winter winds may blow and fill the sky with falling snow. Yet warm we stay desire beside the burning fire. Gratitude may dwindle, the love we may kindle, admired by every creature, adorned by humble feature, like masters.
It's distorting in my mixer. Sorry about that.
So wars and strife arise, and foes become allies.
Okay, so let's see if this luminance, we can bring this up. Well, let's add another 9 to it. Oh, look, that got brighter. It did something here.
No one can explain the nature of the game. Why humanity is such that peace becomes a crutch. All we can do is hope, and through the tempest go. We'll find our better nature as questions build the answer. Winter winds may blow with falling snow. Yet warmly stay desire inside the burning fire.
I wrote this song while I was playing Dragon Age. And all of a sudden I walked into this tavern and there was somebody, this woman playing, like, you know, I was in the game and this woman was playing this instrument, and there was the shopkeeper, and you go in and trade and talk with, you know, and all the people were in there having drinks and everything. It was this old, you know, like a game merchant kind of place. It was a tavern, and all of a sudden, as winter winds may blow and fill the sky with falling snow, all of a sudden there's the whole, it wasn't the song she was playing, it just, all of a sudden it put me in this mood, and out came that song. So it was just, let's see what this looks like. Is it going to be bright? Well, it's brighter, but it's not really putting on. It did make it brighter, putting the lumens up. That's kind of cool. And they have that, each one of these have that little texture on it. Let's put some water texture on it. Water.
Breeze is cool on my skin, like your touch I feel within.
I don't know if these are Iray. Yeah, that's Iray. Alright. Now these may not show up. We've got a black background, so they could just be clear.
Your love again.
Softly you speak.
Softly you hear.
Here we go.
Softly you smile when you are near. Softly. So I whisper, I love you. Say sweet words that are true. Softly you speak.
That's just what I thought. It's like, well,
Softly
there's water there.
Softly you smile.
I think I'd have to change it to white maybe or
when
something.
you are near.
Well, let's go to something else that's wine as well, water. Pearl. Let's see if we got a pearl. I wish these showed a little better. Okay, render. You know, I went into the forums and asked Daz, I said, you know, when you render these, it has to go through that first grouping. And it was taking a real long time. It was taking more time to go through that section than it was to go through like a 1,000 iterations. And now it's like breezing right through it. They came out with an update and all of a sudden, boom. You know, Daz is really, they're very nice and they listen to what people ask. And, you know, I get frustrated because I have these little picayune points and I can get kind of angry, you know, and write them like take out a ticket and write them all kinds of vent, you know, and you know, I just don't realize that they're just a bunch of really nice people working there, and I, you know, and I just ruin their day with my rant when they kind of have a lot of respect for me, and it's you know, so I have to vent, I have to give my opinion, and when I feel like things are just going wrong, okay, what did we do? Whatever we did, this pearl color just isn't working, so let's try white pearls. I'm clutching my pearls here.
Thought I'd let you know what I'm thinking of. You're the only love anywhere I go. When you're away, our love is true.
Come on. All right. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring back our spotlight. We'll make sure we're at 0, except through the spotlight. Let's go into here. Okay, move it up, move it out. Spotlight. Let's intensity. Where's the 9? From the right. Perspective view. Let's turn this way and look. Okay, it seems to be lighting the ground, but not very much. Let's go to Iray. Yeah, it is actually lighting that pretty good, so I think that's enough. So let's go back to the camera. Now it's like showing these particles being lit a little bit or something. Let's put on the plane mirror. Let's what have we got for chrome? Surfaces, mirror, plane. Okay, surfaces, plane, chrome, wind chrome. Chrome metal. Alright, let's try rendering this and seeing what render.
Reflections on the water. You are evolution's author. Deeper into the blue, so distant beyond our view.
All right. Let's put this particle on them.
Into the deep,
okay, they only turn that color when I select them. So there. So that's something to note. So we'll select this. Metal on them. Now we're in the first stage. Let's look down on this so we can see our
creatures of variety waiting to be set free. Flowing with the river stream.
Okay, it looks like my spotlight. There's my spotlight. It's putting this little teeny. So what I need to do is go back to 0. Let's get rid of the spotlight. Let's put in a mesh light. The X position, I always get it wrong. Where's my plane? Okay, 9. Yeah, I got it wrong. Parameters, Y. We need to rotate this. In with the camera. Okay, scale that down. Let's go to our scale. Scale it this way. And scale it this way. Y, translate.
We lay in the sunshine, looking at the sky. I know you are all I will ever need. When I feel you.
Okay, now we're going to make this an emissive.
I know my heart is free.
which we want it single-sided.
I can depend on you to pull our love through.
I think that's in here. Parameters. No, it's null.
And embracing the
It's
night.
here in surfaces.
Your love feels so right, and I'm enamored by your smile. Let's stay a while.
Okay, which side is lit? Doesn't indicate. Okay, we're gonna go into our luminance and put 9 here, I guess. Let's go into Iray and we'll find out. Okay, this isn't lighting anything. Why isn't it putting off any light?
You look into my eyes, now I realize love is able, love is not a fable.
Okay, that's our light side. That kind of makes sense.
When lying next to
It's
me,
the side that's lit.
love is infinity.
Which one is this green?
Eternity,
180,
eternity.
I think is what we're looking for. Oh, that's the Y translate? No, it would be Y rotate. 90. Okay, we have some kind of reflection there. This is lit, okay.
This
This is the
journey
front.
that we are on, in love we are both drawn to one another as lovers.
Okay, let's make this wider, scale it.
Like a string. For you I would
Which
do
one's up?
anything. Go to the ends of time to find.
Okay, let's go to our camera.
Eternity.
I think I have to make this invisible for the camera. I think this, if I put my camera there, this is very strange, this whole thing. So we're going to take and now go and use our categories, RexRed, utilities. No, it's not there, it's up here. It's in Daz. Oh, it's in the other. Huh. There's a way to turn this into a ghost light, but alright. I think I need a ghost light, okay? So we're gonna take the plane out. We're gonna use a ghost light. And in your kiss, their callousness shall dismiss. 'Cause it don't mean nothing at all. Alright, let's do this again. This time let's try to get some results. This is a ghost light, people. Let's go into, okay, this tells me the side, which is helpful, that it emits from, but it is two-sided, so I'll have to set it to be only one-sided. Okay, and then we can scale this also. Let's go to the front. Try to chastise,
but it don't mean nothing at all.
Alright, let's...
No, it don't mean
nothing at all. Alright, now we have that. So we go now and turn the other side off. Two-sided is off. So let's hope this is our one. This is the correct side. Now we go to Iray. It appears as though I don't see any light coming from it, but let's turn some light on. That's the temperature. Let's not put that many nines here. Let's go 1 9. Alright, there's our camera, so let's bring our camera. Now this is a ghost light, so we can see through it. That's kind of interesting. It's showing up. Okay, so let's save this. Render. Let's see what happens here. I don't know why the light isn't like shining on the ground. We're in Iray. It's not, it's like tonight things have been so weird. It might be because I have this polished chrome thing on the plane. It's just everything I'm doing is fighting me, you know? It's like, oh, that polished chrome absorbs every bit of light and you get nothing there. So I don't know. Now that we have this light in here, you can see we're going through our 1,000 iterations a little slower because it's got to figure all the light rays. Let's hope that this light, what we're hoping is that the light is going to interact with our particles. Now what we could do is put this ghost light in here, right in it, and put it on double-sided. It's a ghost light, so I could slice it right in the center here, and or put another one here. We'll see. Okay.
Sometimes all I want to do is fly away with you up into the blue sky.
Well, it's kind of cool, and I don't see the light on the ground. You know what? I'm just not. This isn't what I'm expecting. Let's take this plane and put like, I just don't know, this world is very strange. Let's just put an Uber base on the plane instead of something chrome or something. I was trying to get like reflections and all. Where's the Uber base? All right. right, let's make sure the plane's selected. See this? I have a light shining in here and there's no... It says it's shining, but it's showing the light shine, but it's not showing the effects on the plane. This is the hardest. Okay, let's take this backdrop, none. Let's go to scene, environment. What am I doing? Parameters. Let's make this white. Okay, this didn't change this texture. Okay, so now we have some kind of idea that the Uber base just didn't work. Planes, surfaces, Uber base. Surfaces. Okay. None. All right. Leather white. See, this just didn't change the color of the plane. It's like still chrome or something. It's black, MDL. No. And I have it selected. Okay, delete this plane. Okay. Put another plane in here. Give me a plane that works. Okay, that was the edit. Okay. All right, edit, undo. Go orbit camera, undo, delete. I've created all kinds of set map and undo orbit. Zoom, undo, orbit. What have I done here? I've got this gigantic group now of tons of stuff that I've done here. Orbit until I can go back and get rid of all these keyframes. In the wrong place, and it's not going to let me do it. Okay, what if I delete these planes? That didn't do it. Camera. Oh yeah, that did it. Okay, front. Take me back to the beginning. Let's try this again.
My child, you are young, a baby to me. You will grow strong, and you will grow free.
All right, now we're gonna put this in. Plane. Y.
We'll care for you through many hard times.
Let's put some kind of other texture on here. White leather. Let's put my camera here. Create. Okay, it looks like we've got a mic again. I'm not sure what happened there with that. So, I'm not sure if my mic was just not working all of us for like the whole tutorial. So back here, that would be a typical thing to happen to me. The night when nobody's here, that I just end up like working all night and not having a mic. Just hours and hours worth of work. Maybe I'll redo this. If that's the case, I'll redo this and I'll learn it more. So whatever, it works out for me. Yeah, it's missed time, but it works out for me because I'll just learn it better. Change, okay. The cell size, okay, frames to 30. So Fluidos domain, I'm sure I changed that to 90, but okay, frames per second. Frames 30 to obtain 1 second, and so let the cell size, set the cell size to 2.5 or cell size. Okay, that's 2.50, that's already set for that. The fluid type, volumetric file, fluid type. Volumetric fire. Okay. And set the jitter factor to 1.0. I think this is down at the bottom. Jitter factor 1. In the Fluidos Smoke and Fire subgroup, what? Set the explosivity to 4. Where was I now? And the beta buoyancy factor to 0.25. Okay. And in the same Fluidos domain properties, click on the bake file folder. Okay, where is that? Well, domain. There, browse. We're going to set this to here. My Daz Studio renders. Project 3. Okay, there's one of them. All right. So let's run the simulation. File. I wonder if this simulation would get figured faster with my PC. Probably another one of those floating point things that the graphics card does better. I don't know. Okay, so that's the simulation. Now insert the mesher. Create Fluidos mesher. Okay. Set the bake file folders for the mesher. Okay, the bake file folder's done. Call the simulator. Okay, wait a minute. We're down here. Set a keyframe at 0 in the timeline. Okay. Alright, the Fluidos mesher has a keyframe. Put a second one into frame 30. Well, this is supposed to be total. Oh, I think I've got a problem here. Fluid domain. It's going to say 30 here. I know I put number of frames. Okay, so frame range 90. Okay, so 90. Let's say 91. Just for the heck of it. And now let's run the simulation again. I want to cancel this for now. I want to see if my it says simulation, GPU. Let's say CPU. Let's see what happens, how long this takes. We can stop it if it takes a long time. Okay, I think my CPU is actually faster at Okay, that didn't work. We'll go back to GPU, but we're going to get rid of the mesher. Alright, and we're going to go back to this too. How many frames? Number of frames, hello, 90. Simulation. Well, that's only going to go to 30. Why? Oh, I see what it is. Cancel. Frames per second 30. Okay, here we go. That's doing big chunks of them. Okay, now create the mesher. And now we go here and follow the mesher stuff. Okay, we know we gotta add the mesher. Baked, browse, send that to, so it can save its files here. Save that. And what was the other thing? Set a keyframe at 0, okay, for the mesher. Okay, move to 30. To 90. And then the mesher, there's a completion thing here. Set that at 100%. And create, okay, now that should move that down, yeah, all the way to 0. So we did that correct. Change the mesher type to fire mesh. This isn't really that. Set a keyframe at 0 in the timeline, then put, okay, the fire mesh. Set on the enabled property. Okay. See, I don't remember the last one quite looking like this. Apply a fire mesh to the mesher. Surfaces, mesher, default, Fluidos, and here's our fire mesh. Okay. See, this doesn't seem to have gone up as high. As the other one. So if I were to go to the Fluidos domain here and go to this, and we take let's make the explosivity go to 5 and rerun this. think we need more fuel. See, it's not going up to the top here anymore. I probably should have kept it at 30 so we could I could experiment with this more, but it doesn't seem to be running out of fuel. Okay. Where's these jitter factor? Number of frames. Where was the fuel? Maybe it was in the sink. Temperature 750. Fuel concentrated. Let's go 80 and rerun this file. Whoa. Now we got more fuel. That worked. So I would say we got too much. So let's go to fuel concentration. Let's go 70. Or let's just go to 65. Just a little higher. Edit. This is pretty cool. So we play around with these okay. Right, with file, save as, scene, project 3A. This will say 90 for 90 frames. Now we go to render settings. Let's just leave it here and we'll go now to general 640 by 480. That's good. Maximum samples, we're going to go at 500. Maximum time let's say 50, no, seconds, 30 seconds, render quality off, render this. Alright, well we got to set up the animation for animation. Where's that here? Okay, still if we want a movie name, flame, we're going to sell that, save it in project 3. Okay, render. That is going so fast. Usually you see well, I guess I'm not in Iray mode, so didn't take that long to do this. Okay. Fire render. That's it. Okay. Wow, I bet that's the jitter thing. Okay, so we have, let's look at that again. It came out with a black background. I'm not sure why, because it's gray in the... That's cool. And it seems the texture self-illuminates, because I don't have any light in here, unless it says auto headlamp never. So I don't even have a camera in here. Create new camera. So I guess that's going to do this. I may work on this a little longer, but I hope I didn't just record. I've been up here for a few hours, so I hope I didn't record the beginning of this with no audio. So we'll check and find out. That would be terrible. All right, so have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, leave comments if you have any kind of comments. And I'm going to be back. I may do part 2 of this. There's still some more left in the fire part. And this one is, you know, I kind of thought that the smoke was going to be my most important one, because smoke equals fog equals mist, it equals, you know, all that whole world of creating VDBs. But this fire one now is just really kind of interesting me. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next tutorial. This is EZ3DTV, and my name is RexRed. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, morning, day, whatever.